Have you ever felt like life is asking you to lift more than you trained for? Whether you're prepping for a max out in the gym or maxing out emotionally, it could just be about keeping up with a nonstop hustle of real life, and this one is for you. Today I'm talking about what it takes to be strong from the start. Not perfect, not superhuman, just strong in the ways that matter, in the ways that you show up when everything feels heavy. Because maxing out isn't just a barbell moment. It's that tough conversation you've been avoiding, or the deadline that you're racing against. The season where every part of your life is pulling on you at once. It could be the beginning of the year where you feel all the pressure to follow through with those resolutions. And in those moments, your goals have to fit your reality, not fight it. So today, we're going to break down how to set goals that survive the chaos, how to stay human when you're chasing big dreams, and how to push yourself without burning yourself to the ground. If you're carrying something heavy, physically or emotionally, you're in the right place. Welcome to episode 33 of Making Mel Health in the Hustle. This podcast is a place where motherhood meets muscle, ambition meets exhaustion, and figuring out how to prioritize my health journey into the insanely beautiful chaos of a busy life is what I talk about. Some days it'll look messy and other days flawless. But no matter what kind of day I'm having, I can assure you, I will tell the truth and do my best to give you some good ideas and insight that will help you prioritize your own journey. So let's talk about my first max out. Back in 2019, when I was starting my first training cycle. It was a deadlift max out, and I'd only been learning for a few months, so my lifts were kind of rough. I started and warmed up, and I pulled 135 and 155 and then 185 without too much trouble. But when I got above 200 pounds, I started to get inside my own head. 235 went okay, and then I capped. I got 250 off the floor somehow, and I rose with it, but it was a hot mess. My technique was off on that lift because I was pushing hard, but inside my head, I was unable to focus. I get stuck in the numbers. Whether it's the gym or life, everyone has their own version of heavy. If you allow yourself to get inside your own head instead of focusing on what you're doing, that weight or that task can really hold you back. Maxing out in the gym is not seen as an ultimate test. It's a chance to see what you're truly capable of, but it's not about perfection. It's about discovering your current capacity, not chasing flawless technique or even a magic number. Every lifter knows that the mental game is just as tough as the physical one. When you approach a personal record or a PR, your mind starts racing. Am I strong enough? Did I train hard enough? What if I fail? Everyone's watching. How's this going to look? Those thoughts can be heavier than the barbell itself. Just like my first max out, I really could have lifted heavier that day, but I got inside my head. When I started to think, who do I think I am? 250? That's a huge number. Oh gosh, all my friends are here, they're watching. What if I look stupid? As soon as those thoughts hit my brain, they became the heaviest lift. Every lifter has their own version of heavy. And sometimes the biggest challenge is focusing on what needs to be done rather than getting lost on those numbers. See, maxing out isn't just for athletes. In every day, maxing out looks like carrying emotional loads, facing pressure, maybe juggling a sick child, or navigating a project at work or school. It could be major life transitions. You don't need a barbell to fill the weight sometimes. It can be the tough conversation you've been avoiding, or that deadline that just feels impossible. Could be the season where this part of your life is just pulling you away. I want you to think about your max out moments. Maybe it was a week where you were stretched emotionally and mentally to the point that you thought you were going to break. Your version of heavy is valid. And strength isn't just physical. It's about resilience, intention, and the ability to keep showing up even when things feel overwhelming. Whether you're testing your limits in the gym or in life, the process is about learning what you can handle, how you respond under pressure, or how you grow from challenges. You don't need a barbell to feel the weight. Strength is found in every single arena. I want to talk about goals for a moment. Too often we set goals based on what we wish our lives looked like, not what they actually are. We imagine the perfect routines and the endless motivation and zero interruptions. But real life is messy. Work deadlines pop up and kids get sick. Your energy dips and priorities sometimes have to shift. When goals do not account for these realities, they become sources of stress instead of support. And the result? We feel like we're failing, when really our goals just weren't designed for the reality that we live in. Think about your life in seasons. Sometimes you're in a growth phase. Sometimes you're just in survival mode. The goals that work during a calm and predictable season may be completely impossible in a chaotic one. Instead of forcing yourself to stick to a rigid plan, ask what's realistic for me right now, and adjust your goals to fit your current capacity, not your ideal circumstances. This isn't lowering the bar. It's making sure that your goals actually help you move forward, even if progress looks different than what you expected. Big dreams are important, but they're built on those small, steady, consistent actions that you take every day. Macro goals are your long-term ambitions. Maybe it's running a marathon or launching a business, getting a degree, or breaking state records. But micro goals, those are the daily and weekly steps that move you closer. It could be running 3 times a week, or sending emails, or studying for 20 minutes. When life gets hectic, focus in on the micro goals. They're way easier to achieve. They'll keep you motivated, and they add up over time. Progress matters, no matter how small it may seem. Many people fall into the trap of thinking that they have to go all in or not at all. If you miss a workout or eat off of your plan or fall behind on a project, it's really tempting to give up entirely. But perfection isn't the goal. Consistency is. Coach Val always says that it's not about what happens to you, or it's not about what you're doing in the moment. It's about that next step you take. You don't max out every day. You build strength through the steady effort and the smart adjustments. The same thing applies to life. You have to allow yourself to pivot and reset and keep going and take that next right step, even if you're not hitting every target. In strength training, lifters adjust their programs based on fatigue, injuries, and life events. We swap out heavy days for lighter ones. We take rest when it's needed and change our approach if something isn't working. You can do the same with life goals. If you're overwhelmed, break your goals into smaller steps. Change your timeline or even shift your focus. Flexibility is not a weakness, it's a strength. Your goals should support you, not suffocate you. The best goals are the ones that help you grow, even when life gets tough. Celebrate every step forward, and remember, you are allowed to adjust your goals to fit your reality. That's not quitting. It's smart, sustainable ambition. And there's a huge importance in listening to your body. In strength training, it is essential for progress and injury prevention. In life, it's just as important to listen to your humanity. This means tuning in to your emotional and mental needs, not just your physical ones. If you're feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, or stretched too thin, it is okay to pause and recalibrate. Rest is not a sign of weakness. It is a strategic tool for growth. Recovery days are when muscles rebuild and strength increases. And in life, rest allows you to recharge, gain perspective, and then return to your goals with renewed energy. Schedule rest intentionally, not as a last resort. Boundaries are another piece of that. Setting boundaries is an act of strength, not selfishness. Whether it's saying no to extra commitments, or carving out time for yourself, or even protecting your energy from negativity, boundaries can help you stay focused and resilient. They are essential for sustainable progress. Life can be unpredictable, and sometimes you need to be able to pivot. You need to change your approach or adjust your goals and shift your priorities. This isn't quitting, it's adapting. Training must be adjusted at times based on that injury or fatigue. And your life goals have to be adjusted sometimes based on your current reality. I want to make sure that you understand the difference between quitting and adjusting. Quitting means that you are totally giving up on your values or your dreams. Adjusting means you're honoring your needs and circumstances while you keep moving forward. Recognize when it's time to pivot. You are not failing because you choose a smarter, kinder path. In lifting, you don't max out every day, and in life, you shouldn't either. There is a real danger in living at a constant maximum effort mode. Pushing all the time does lead to exhaustion and burnout. Maxing out is a moment. It's not a lifestyle. In life, living at 100% effort every single day is unsustainable. Talk about your risk for chronic stress, fatigue, and the toll that it takes on your motivation and well-being. Burnout doesn't happen overnight. It starts with small, subtle signals. It could be irritability or lack of motivation. It could be trouble sleeping or even trouble getting out of bed in the morning. You might feel completely disconnected from your goals. Pay attention when those signs start and take action, whether it's resting, seeking support, or adjusting your workload. I know what this is like because I push really, really hard sometimes. And at times, I push beyond what I'm capable of, and I can maintain it for a period of time. But long term, it starts to beat me up. And when I get really beat up, I can't function in that state, and neither can you. What helps me is regular breaks, hobbies that recharge me, time with friends or family, or simply moments of quiet. Recovery isn't optional. It is essential for long-term success. Ambition is a powerful thing, but it shouldn't come at the cost of your health or your happiness. Sustainable ambition means pursuing big goals while honoring your limits, practicing self-compassion, and celebrating progress no matter how small. Real strength is found in balance, not burnout. As I finish up, I want you to understand that strong doesn't mean being strong all the time. Real strength is about showing up, even when things get heavy. We have to give ourselves permission to be both ambitious and human, not Wonder Woman or Superman. Celebrating your effort and not just your output is really important. Every step that you take, no matter how small, is proof of your resilience. This week, I want to encourage you to take one small, aligned action that supports your goals while continuing to honor the season that you're in. Maybe it's taking a real rest day, or setting a boundary, or breaking a big goal into a micro goal that you can actually achieve. Maybe it's lunch with a friend. Progress isn't about perfection, ladies and gentlemen. It is about consistency and compassion and the courage to keep going when stuff gets hard. You're allowed to be strong and human at the same time. That's real strength. And no matter what you're carrying, You're never alone on this journey, because I'm right there with you. Thanks for listening, for showing up for yourself, and for being part of my community. Until next time, onward and upward, my friends.